Good morning, everybody. Ram Ram. Happy Saturday. Happy Tuesday. Not Tuesday. Happy Saturday. Happy Shanivar. Today's a very special day. It's another special Hanuman day. Saturdays. So Saturdays is called Shanivar, which is the day of Shanidev, who's the ruler of Saturn. And so Saturn is known to be kind of slow moving, bringing limitations, bringing restrictions. And so on Saturdays, we try to appease Shanidev in different ways. Some people wear black, but basically there's a couple different stories. But Shanidev was cursed by, I think it was his wife, that whatever he looked at would cause destruction to. And also, Shanidev was the brother of Yama, and Yama is the lord of death. So he's meant to make people pay for their misdeeds in the afterlife, and Shani is meant to make them kind of pay for their misdeeds in this life. So Saturdays are important that we kind of appease Shanidev. We don't make him angry. We wear black. Maybe we offer him anything that's black in color. But good for Hanuman lovers out there. It's said in the Ramayana that when Hanuman went to Lanka, Shanidev was there kind of being held captive by Ravana. And when he freed him, when he helped kind of rescue Shani, he told Hanuman that all his devotees would be safe from him. So on Saturdays, we also worship Hanuman. So yeah, happy Shanivar. So in saying that, again, I'd like to start, just like we did last week, with a little Chalisa. And then we'll get started with a very special guest today, Hare Krishna Das, talking about the 9 modes of Bhakti, or how we cultivate this devotion in our lives. All right, so if you know the Chalisa, feel free to sing along with me, or just kind of chill. I'll be back. Shri Guru Charana Saroja Raja Nijamana Mukuru Sudari Varano Raghuvara Bimala Jasu Chodaya Kupalachari Budihina Tanujanike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Palabudhi Vidya Dehu Mohi Haravukale Savikarasya Vare Ramachandra Paraje Sharanam Jaya Hanuman Jnana Gunasagar Jaya Kapisati Guloka Ujagar Ramaduta Tulita Valedama Anjani Puta Pavana Sutanama Mahavira Vikrama Bajrangi Kumate Nivara Sumati Ke Sangi Kanchane Varena Viraja Suvesa Kanana Kundala Kunchita Kesa Hatta Bhaja Odvaja Viraje Kande Mune Jane Usaje Shankara Subhana Kesari Nanda Teja Pratapa Mahajagavanda Vedyavana Guni Ati Chatu Ramakaja Karibeko Atu Prabhu Charita Sunibeko Rasiya Ramalakana Sita Mane Pasiya Shukshma Rupa Darisiya Indikava Vikata Rupa Dari Lanka Jarava Bhima Rupa Dari Asura Sanare Ramachandra Ke Kaj Savari Laya Sajivana Lakana Jiyaye Shri Raghuvira Hara Shiuralai Raghupati Kine Bahatavarai Tuma Mama Priya Varatahi Samavai Sahasavandana Tumaro Yasagave Asakai Shripati Kantalagave Sanekadika Brahmadi Munisa Narada Sarada Sahita Hisa Jamakubera Dikapala Jahante Kaviko Virakahi Sake Kahante Tuma Upukara Sugriva Ikina Rama Milaya Rajapadadina Tumaro Mantra Vibhishane Mana Lankeshwara Vaya Sava Jagajana Yuga Sahasrayo Jana Parevanu Liyota Himalura Palajanu Prabhu Mudrika Meli Mukamai Chaladilangi Gaya Charajanai Durga Makaja Jagatake Jete Suramanugraha Tumare Tete Ramaduare Tumarakavare Otanagya Vinupesare Sabasukalae Tumari Sarena Tumara Shakaka Huko Darena Apana Teja Samaru Ape Hino Loka Hankate Kampe Bhuta Vishashana Katanahi Ave Mahavira Jabanama Sunave Nase Roga Hare Sabapira Chapata Nirantara Hanumata Vira Sankate Se Hanumana Churave Manakrama Vachana Dhyana Cholave Sabapare Rama Tapasvi Raja Tinake Kaja Sakala Tumasaja Ora Manorata Joko Ilave Soyamita Jivana Palapave Charo Yuga Paritapa Tumara He Parase Jagajata Ujiyar Sadhu Santa Ke Tumara Kavare Asurani Kandana Rama Dulare Ashta Sedino Nidike Tata Asavaradina Janaki Mata Rama Rasayana Tumare Pasa Sada Raho Raghupati Ke Dasa Tumare Bhajana Rama Ko Pave Janam Janama Ke Dukha Visarave Antakala Raghuvara Pura Bhajai Jaha Janama Hare Bhakta Kahai Ora Devata Chetana Darei Hanumata Se Sarva Sukha Kare Sankate Kate Mite Savapira Jo Sumire Hanumata Balavira Jai 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 Hanumana Gosai Kripa Kara Guru Deva Kinai Jo Shatvar Pat Kara Koi Chudai Vandi Mahasukha Hoi Joya Pare Hanumana Chalisa Hoy se Visakhi Gaurisa Tulsi Dasa Sadari Chera Kije Nata Hidaya Mahadera Pavanatanaya Sankataranam Mangalamuratiru Ramalakana Sita Sahita Hidraya Basahusura Bhupasiya Vare Ramachandra Parajay Sharanam Ramachandra Parajay Sharanam Ramachandra Parajay Sharanam Ramachandra Parajay Sharanam. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to invite Hare Krishna Das on here. Let's see if I can figure this out. No. There we go. Let's see if that worked. There we go. Hello.
Hello.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Look
Namaste.
at that view. That's so nice. Your
Yes,
backdrop.
I thought seeing Himalayas would be more purifying.
Yes, very nice. Beautiful. Yeah. So I wanted to, for those of you that aren't familiar with Hare Krishna Das, he lives here in Rishikesh, and I've actually just been studying with him since lockdown has started, which I don't really even know how long that's been, maybe a month, 6 weeks.
More than a month, yeah, more than a month.
Uh, and it's been really, really great. You do these really great, like 45-minute lectures daily you were doing, and we were talking about the different incarnations of Lord Vishnu, and then we went on to talk about the sage Avadut and his 24 gurus, which were kind of the gurus that we find in nature. And yeah, I felt that your classes were just really inspiring and really, you know, not that they were short and sweet, but they were just enough to kind of get the information out in a nice way, clear. Um, and I just feel like I really learned a lot in those 6 weeks with you, and still, starting this Gita in the class with you next week. So yeah, I just kind of wanted you to come on and share some of your knowledge. And it's interesting because I met you through basically a computer screen like 6 weeks ago, but I've been connected to you guys for like almost a year now. For the first time, I met Madhavcharya at,
Madhvacharya, yes.
at Anand Prakash, probably like last August, and I
Hmm.
just loved it, so I exchanged information, and then he was always messaging me when they had programs and all this stuff, but for whatever reason, since August, the timings never worked out, and every time I see your guys' little crew doing Harinam on the streets, I'm like, hey! So it's good to kind of get back connected with you guys through this lockdown and helping us learn and stay focused. So thank you for what you're doing almost every day. Um, and then I bother you with all sorts of crazy questions after class, and you take the time to answer them very nicely. So yeah,
Thank you for your encouraging words.
yes, of course. So before we get started, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about maybe your background, your upbringing. In my last episode, I kind of also talked to my teacher Govindas about just kind of how he grew up, how he came to spirituality, most importantly, kind of how he came to the path of Bhakti as kind of his way of uniting with truth, uniting with God. You could share with us your journey a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Nothing great, but I grew up in a very devout Hindu family. Uh, as most of the times, the Indians, they have a good culture, tradition, maybe not so much of knowledge base, but we have a great spiritual practice. So while growing up, we were engaged by our grandfather. I am born and brought up in Mumbai,
Okay.
and my grandfather, they all hail from Agra and Mathura region. So in our house, our mother tongue is Braj Bhasha.
Oh, wow.
But somehow I can understand, but I can't speak much, maybe 20%. So we had that culture. Uh, we had so many festivals. We celebrated Ram Navami, Janmashtami, Hanuman Jayanti, Govardhan Puja, the way they celebrate in Braj, with the Govardhan made of cow dung and then
Yeah.
going around and. So we did not understand much of it, but it was a fun, and we were a joint family. My grandfather had 8 children, so my father is the eldest, and then 7 siblings. We all stayed together
Wow.
for I think till the 10 or 12 years of my age, we were all together. 20 plus people packed up in a small place. but
Wow.
that was fun. We were so much more connected than ever before. So I think uh, real prosperity is to have those wonderful relations, and
Mm.
that too, the variety of relations. You have your uncles, you have your cousin brothers and aunts, and you
Right,
know,
because they're all quite
it
different.
was,
Yeah.
yeah. And we get a good opportunity, we get a good understanding of how different people behave, and based on that, we learn to understand, kind of, calibrate our way we live with different people, what I want from someone, so I know, how to get it. So it was a good learning experience. And yeah, then while growing up, going to the college, and I was 16, I think, when my elder brother, so I have, we are three, my elder brother, his name is Vishal Vraj Kishore. He is also initiated by His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj.
Mm.
And I have a younger sister, uh, she's Nandini, and she is also initiated by Maharaj. She is Prem Sakhi. She stays in Boston. My elder brother, for almost 15 years, was in America, Portland.
Mm.
So they both are American citizens. So they are, of the same nationality as you. Though in Krishna consciousness, because there was a program arranged in his college. He was active in one society, which was a society dedicated to literary and debating activities. So they organized a program by one of the senior most monks in our temple in ISKCON Chowpatty. Now he is a sannyasi, Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj. Profound knowledge he has, at the same time wonderful uh, character, human being, very sensitive, very
So
friendly.
this was came to the college?
This was while he was in college and while I was also in college, just 16 years, a teenager.
Mm.
So this program was organized in his college. He started becoming interested. He started coming to the temple almost every Sunday. And I lost a friend because on Sundays we would go together for playing, and he would be gone almost till the evening because he was doing some, there is some NCC, if you know, National Cadet Corps. So this is a preliminary to armed forces. Uh,
Okay.
so he was going for all those activities, and then from there he would go to the temple, and he would come back only in the evening, and then not even have any food, because he would say, oh, I had a lot of prasad, and ISKCON, and what kind of prasad is there.
The best.
So yeah, so I would always wonder, what's going on, and my mother was especially worried because ISKCON in those days, early 90s, was not very famous,
Mm.
or rather, I would say infamous in India because
Yeah.
of a film called as Hare Rama, Hare Krishna by Devanand.
Mm.
And it portrayed the devotees as hippies, drug addicts, and so many other things. So my mother was very liberal with us, but still she had some concern. She did not say no to my brother, but she encouraged that I should also go with him. And I would always be longing for going and seeing what is this temple he keeps telling about. We have been to so many temples in our childhood with our grandfather, but what is this temple throughout the day and has full lunch? And he would tell what is the prasad menu. So he never took me for 6 months. This is in 1994. And then there was a program which was arranged for a big satsang program of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj on Ekadashi, which comes the next day of Ram, this Vijay Utsav,
Mm.
Dashera.
Okay. Yeah.
So I went there for the first. I insisted I have to go because my mother was suspecting that, what is he doing, and she did not want to show herself that, she's kind of, commanding him.
Mm.
But she would just prod me that, oh, you also go, and I would. So
And
that
report.
day yeah, as a spy,
Yeah.
what he is doing. So I went to that program, insisted that I have to come, and that was the evening program. I went there, and that was a big, thousands of people in a open stadium, and I saw Maharaj for the first time on that stage, and the way he was singing and he was speaking about Ram, Lord Ram.
Oh, Radhanath Maharaj.
Radhanath Maharaj, yeah, Radhanath Maharaj. I did not know anything about him. That was the first time I saw, and the first time I heard, probably I would say, first time I heard a Westerner.
Mm.
And I was thinking, how does he know so much about Lord Ram? We should be knowing, and he knows, and he was speaking in great detail about Ramayan and Lord Ram and Sita and Hanuman. And then there was this kirtan,
Mm.
and after the class, the kirtan, the whole stadium was dancing, and this was, something very new to me. But that I was just in love with that, and I was instantly attracted to Maharaj. I did not know what's happening in my life. I was a regular student in college, but the attraction kept building, and in matter of 3 years, I was still a teenager, and I was so much attracted that I think in 1997 I took Diksha. I got initiated and became more uh, dedicated to the path of Bhakti.
Mm.
So it started with
Yeah.
hearing Maharaj for the first time. So there's the topic of today, Shravanam.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. And so have you always been based in Mumbai since then?
Yes, yes. I have always been based out of Mumbai, born, brought up, studied my work life, whatever my corporate career I had. I continued my studies. Uh, I qualified as a company secretary, which is you know, we could say that something like chartered accountant in India, or in US, maybe a corporate attorney. And I also did my law. I worked for close to 5, 6 years in a multinational corporation as a company secretary. But then my interest kept growing. In the meanwhile, my brother and sister, they both were married, and I closely saw the marriage life,
Mm.
and I was the next in the line, and somehow, you know, I just got sufficient support from my brother. He said, try it out, this brahmachari training, because then you don't have any option once you get married. You can't do
Mm.
any other adventure. So better, whatever you want to experience, you experience that.
Mm.
So I went for this brahmachari training, which is, a training program in our temple in Chopati, very systematically training different aspects of Vaishnav culture. And I never came back.
The rest is history.
Yeah. My mother was not very happy, but then now she is very proud. She tried to influence my boss, who was also a lady, that I should not leave the job. She grilled me for 3 hours. Why you are leaving the job? I'll give you a better salary, better position, maybe a better organization. I'll find a girl for you to get married, and so many things. But somehow, and now she is also quite happy with me.
Yeah.
My boss is still in touch with me, and she is very proud.
It's
So it's
interesting
all,
when the heart knows, you know, what it wants.
yeah. So And of course, I am very fortunate. I was actually not very, with that great, what we call, uh, intensity, actually searching for the bhakti.
Mm.
But as it is mentioned that, sometimes the blessings of the sages, the guru, is so strong that even if we are not searching for it, but we fortunately get that diamond of, the holy name.
Mm.
And I'm very fortunate. I feel that I was accepted as I'm a very insignificant servant of my guru, and he's accepting my service, whatever little bit I am able to do.
Well, I can say what you're doing in Rishikesh is great. I mean, not just with your online programs, but I mean, you guys are cooking for what, like 400 people a day total,
Um,
and all this stuff, and letting me help out with the little cow seva, and you're doing a lot in Rishikesh, so
oh, we
it's
are
good.
just humble instruments.
We need more people like you here. So um, yeah, wow, very nice journey, very interesting. Thank you for sharing. Um, So yeah, so last week I talked a little bit with my sister Bindas about the guru and bhakti, uh, and I think today I thought it would be nice to talk about the ways in which we cultivate that bhakti in our life, which is kind of known as the nine modes, the Navavidha bhakti.
Hmm.
And I think a lot of us, without knowing, a lot of us on this, not just on Bhakti path, but in any really spiritual path, without knowing, do maybe not all of these nine things, but maybe we do some. So you could just shed some light on them and what they are, and maybe give us some examples. Or, yeah.
Actually, you rightly said that not knowing, but we are doing so many limbs, we are practicing so many limbs of bhakti. Actually, bhakti is an expression of our heart which is very spontaneous, and
Mm.
that's quite natural. Uh, in one of the when explaining the meaning of the Hare Krishna mantra, Srila Prabhupada, the founder of ISKCON, my Param Guru, he
Mm-hmm.
mentions that devotion or bhakti towards the Lord is a natural inclination of the heart. That is our constitutional nature to be serving. We all at all times are serving someone.
Right.
And so, uh, it's quite natural to get attracted, to get absorbed in bhakti. And bhakti is very practical. It's not an artificial imposition on the mind
Mm-hmm.
or on the person, because that's our, the nature, the essence of our existence. And it mentions in the Srimad Bhagavatam, uh, in the conversation of Prahlad and his father Hiranyakashipu. So, if you remember Prahlad, he was when he was in the womb of his mother, and Hiranyakashipu, a great demon, and he went for austerities. There's a time when Indra, sensing that this fellow is so cruel and his son would be more cruel than him, so he wanted to kill the child as soon as he is born. And so he was, they accosted the pregnant mother and took her, was dragging her. That's the time when Narad Muni came and he mentioned that this is not an ordinary boy, he is a devotee of Vishnu, leave her. They leave, and then Narad Muni, he's speaking the Bhagavat Dharma, or the process of dedicating ourselves to the service of the Lord, Bhagavan, that is Bhagavad Dharma. And Prahlad, who is just a fetus, so to say, a baby in the womb, he hears everything very attentively. And when he is born, naturally he is so devoted to Vishnu. His father, who is a great demon and enemy of Vishnu, he sends him to a school of sons of Shukracharya, Shanda and Amarka, to learn the art of politics and the art of making friends and enemies and diplomacy.
Mm.
And when he returns back from the school, the father asks, "Please tell me what is the essence of the knowledge that you have gained from the school." And these are the words of Prahlad. The first opening words of Prahlad are Shravanam Kirtanam Vishno Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakhyamatma Nivedanam Iti Pumsarpita Vishnu Bhaktischennava Lakshana Kriyate Bhagavatyadha Tanmanye Dhitamuttama. He says, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu. Hearing them, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So he says, this is the real knowledge. This is what our life should be molded in. The 9 processes are Shravanam, hearing, Kirtanam, chanting, Smaranam, remembering the Lord. So, Shravanam, it is the first of the 9 processes, the most basic, the most easy to do, and the most powerful. In fact, all the processes, all the 9 modes are equally powerful, but Shravanam, because of the ease that it has, it becomes more powerful in the sense that the person does not even have to make any endeavor.
Mm.
You know, what did Prahlad do? He was just lying in the womb and he was hearing,
Mm-hmm.
and he did not have to make any endeavor. It is said that there are 5 different faculties that we have, the senses, and hearing is one of them. That is one of the faculties which develops the first when
Mm.
a child is in the womb.
The ability to
That
hear.
becomes activated the first. And this is the same faculty which goes off the last. When a person is dying,
Mm-hmm.
all the senses become inert. You can't do much. You can't see, you can't speak, you can't smell, you can't sense any touch, but you can keep hearing.
Yeah.
So that shows, even by the nature, that hearing is the most effective, the most powerful method of connecting. There are different ways that we can hear. There are we hear sometimes just incidentally, without any intention. We just hear some words just go into the ears. There is a hearing which is actually purposeful. We hear because we want to learn something. And there is applicative hearing, which means we are hearing so that we can learn and apply what we hear in our life.
Mm-hmm.
So it is mentioned that even if it is incidental hearing, but because the names of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, anything related to the Lord is so powerful because it is not different than the Lord Himself. Just like Lord is absolute, everything connected with the Lord is also absolute. And so are the names also absolute. And even if unintentionally one hears, it has a very powerful effect of purifying the consciousness. It is mentioned elsewhere, in the pastime of Ajamil, when there is a discussion between Yamaraj and Yamadutas. Yamaraj mentions the glories of hearing, and he says, if a person unaware of the efficacy of or the potency of a certain medicine still takes that medicine out of ignorance, the medicine works, right? You don't
Right.
need to know the composition.
The details. Yeah.
Yeah. So he says, similarly, the names of the Lord are like that medicine. You need not understand. You need not understand the language, you need not even understand the meaning of the mantra or the names. It acts like a powerful medicine. And what does it do? It actually purifies the heart. It is mentioned, in the so many quotations I can give. I don't want to sound so scholarly, but I am not. But just to emphasize the the importance of hearing, that you know just by hearing all the uh, things which are troublesome to the heart, the different misconceptions that we have about ourselves, about the Lord, about where we are, what we are doing, what is the purpose, all those things, they actually get completely cleansed off. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Cheto Darpana Marjanam, the process of hearing and chanting is like cleaning the mirror of the heart. And mirror which is covered with so many layers of dust, it really doesn't work as a mirror. But when you start cleansing, and when the mirror is clean of all the dirt, then it starts reflecting everything. We can then realize ourselves. And when we are able to realize ourselves, then, God realization becomes very easy. So, we need to hear. Just hearing is so effective, but for, as we mentioned, that there should be a purposeful hearing accompanied by faith. So there is this story of a Brahman that comes in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that there was a illiterate Brahman, but he was ordered by his guru that you must read Bhagavad Gita every day without fail. And so, hearing the order of his guru, he would just sit and try to read. But he was an illiterate. So, how could he read? He did not even know how to hold the book properly. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was in Sri Rangam, he saw this Brahman who was actually being ridiculed by the learned class of these, scholarly Brahmins. They would say, oh, this fellow, he's reading Bhagavad Gita. He's just imitating reading. He is holding the book upside down. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw him and he saw that he is crying. So he came close to him and he asked that, why are you crying? What makes you cry? So he says, I am in a fix. My guru has given me the order that I should read Gita, but I am an illiterate. I can't read Gita. I am just trying to make some endeavor. And so he said, that's fine, but what makes you cry? So he said, I'm just thinking that this Krishna, who is none other than the absolute truth, and he is loving his devotees so much that for the sake of Arjun, he is becoming his servant, a chariot driver, which is a menial service. And he is taking reins of his chariot and taking reins of his life in his hands and just protecting him and taking him through the you know army which or the battlefield which is full of so many powerful people. I am just wondering that what wonderful Lord Krishna is, or the Lord is, that He's ready to serve His devotees. I have this Gita to show that how Krishna is serving Arjun. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraces him and he says, "You have understood the essence of Gita." Many people, they read, but they still wonder whether there is God or not. And he says, and you have understood that God is there, and God is a person, and He is lover of His devotees. And that's the highest realization that a person can get reading Gita. And you have already realized. And you know, that's one of the verses which Lord Krishna speaks in the Gita, 13th chapter. I'll just quote it. And he says, again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about Him from others. Because of their tendency to hear from authorities, they also transcend the path of birth and death just by hearing.
Yeah.
So, this is the glory of hearing, and of course, uh, hearing is purifying, but we should also hear from a person who is not just theoretically speaking but also practicing, also
Right.
is a devoted, not academic only, and has faith, because elsewhere it is mentioned that the names of the Lord, the pastimes of the Lord, they are nourishing like milk. But if the same milk is touched by the poisonous lips of a serpent, that becomes like poison. So if
Yeah.
a person, he does not have sufficient faith, does not really accept the existence of the Lord, but is speaking probably as a profession or as a source of earning or just for the sake of speaking, that will have some benefit, but it will not have the effect that actually we need. And
Wow.
today is a very special day also.
What
You
is
know
today?
about it?
No.
Today is Sita Navami.
Sita Nomi. Really?
Yes, today is the
Oh,
appearance day of Sita Devi.
yay, Sita Ma.
Jai Sita Ma. And you know, in Sundarkand, one of the very important, I would say the watershed moment
Oh.
is when Hanuman has to meet Sita Devi in
Mm.
the Ashokavatika, and he's wondering that she has been here for so many months and she has been being tortured by so many of these demons, and she must be in so much of anguish. She is visibly in anguish, and he thinks that how do I convey this message that I am messenger of Lord Ram, so that she has confidence, because if I just jump in front of her, she will think that he is Ravan probably, and I will lose confidence of Mother Sita. And so what does he do? He starts speaking Ramayana,
Yes.
and Sita Devi hears the details of the Lord's pastimes from Hanuman's mouth,
You speak
who
so
is
eloquently.
so eloquently,
Yeah.
and he is not visible. So she is just hearing.
Mm.
So the connection is established by hearing, and when she hears, and her heart starts melting, and that's the time when he actually appears before her and
Mm.
gives her that mudrika of the Lord, and gives that confidence that I am not a demon, I am a I am your son and I am servant of Lord Ram. So hearing gives us the connection. Hearing gives us the memory also. Even Hanuman, just few days back, before he jumped to Mother Sita, he did not know his powers. He
Right.
was like any other, so to say, an ordinary other monkeys. But Jambavan, he spoke to him his glories,
Mm.
and by hearing, he regained his memory.
He remembered. Yeah.
So, when we hear the pastimes of the Lord, actually, these are the pastimes which are eternal, and we also, as servants of the Lord, are part of those pastimes, but we have failed in our memory. We have
Mm-hmm.
forgotten about the Lord. And so when we hear, it helps like a person who is in amnesia, forgets something, and then you have to speak the incidents, the people, the places, and then person starts regaining the memory. So hearing brings memory, hearing gives connection, hearing gives that essential faith.
So
So
just like Hanuman, it's important for us to hear so that we may
yeah,
remember, our role in this whole Leela and here to serve the Lord, right? Rather than serve ourselves.
yeah, yes.
Mm, I like that.
So that hearing gives us the connection and the right perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, actually, we are always hearing. If we are not hearing about the Lord, then we are hearing about so many other things. We are hearing the mind, we are hearing our mind, which is proposing so many plans for enjoyment in so many different ways, in a very selfish way. And we keep hearing and following someone. We are serving our senses, we are serving our mind, we are serving our temptations.
Right.
But when we get this connection through the agency of Guru, so Hanuman, in this pastime of Sundarkand, he actually acts like a guru
Mm-hmm.
who gives the connection to the jiva, who is represented by Sita Devi, who is now far away from Ram
Mm-hmm.
in the kingdom of Maya, Lanka.
Yeah.
And so, Hanumanji, through the process of hearing and chanting, he gives that connection. So, this is a wonderful explanation given by one of the acharyas from Sri Sampradaya,
Okay.
that giving this analogy that for understanding this principle of bhakti, Hanumanji represents as Guru who gives the connection, and ultimately we are serving the Lord, and the connection is established by the process of hearing and chanting, and
Well,
we again regain our state.
that's interesting because of course, I know this chapter of Sundarkand, and um, I never looked at Hanuman as a guru in that particular scene. You always look at Hanuman as the best, the best servant.
Yeah, yeah,
Had instant, yeah, by retelling the glories of Ram. Yeah, he was definitely the
yeah.
guru to keep her connected. Huh. Thank you.
And that makes Hanuman so beautiful. That's why this Kand is called as Sundar Kand,
Mm.
because actually the beauty of Lord Hanuman is coming forth from this Kand. There
Mm-hmm.
is no description of any other beauty, neither the beauty of Lord Ram or Mother Sita. But it is actually Hanuman who is taking up this task of reconnecting, getting the news of
Mm-hmm.
Lord Ram to Sita and of Sita to Ram. So Guru becomes the link
Mm-hmm.
between the Jiva and the Ishvara,
Mm-hmm.
and that's beautiful.
Wow. Jai Hanuman.
Jai Hanuman.
Special little monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, it's really, yeah, think about Hanuman that way, and it makes total sense. But I'd never thought of that. So thank you.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is hearing. We hear from the Acharya,
yeah,
and we bring this information or knowledge by repeating it, right?
yeah, and going back to like the guru, and I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but in like Hindu tradition, it's very important to hear these things from a guru or a learned person, or um, kind of keeping that transmission of information from person to person. And I think that's what's been so amazing with not just learning from you, but other teachers. Is like, whether it's the Gita, whether it's the Ramayana, like I can read it myself so many times and get what I get out of it. But it isn't until somebody more senior than me tells me the same story in a different way that ideas or realizations kind of pop up that I didn't come up on my own while just reading, whether I read the book 10 times or 30 times. But when it's heard from a person directly, it just totally has a different the depth is different, I guess I should say. You're able to go a little bit deeper
Yes.
and ask questions, which you can't really ask a book questions. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, that's the process. That's the process of spiritual knowledge, which Lord Krishna speaks himself in the Bhagavad Gita, fourth chapter. He says this word, evam parampara praptam, that this knowledge is actually received in parampara. Because, and that's quite, acceptable way of transmitting knowledge, even otherwise. If you are a doctor, let's say, so you can read the medical books, but that doesn't make you a doctor.
right.
Or the language, English, and you read a chemistry book, you will not make any sense of the formulae or the equations or the chemical names, because just reading a language is not sufficient. We should be able to get the essence, that knowledge, and that comes from a person who has. So Krishna says in the fourth chapter again that you have to get this knowledge from a person who has. And for that, there are three requirements. And these three requirements are basically different aspects of one, that is the attitude that we have. And that attitude should be attitude of humility, born out of gratitude, that because if the heart is grateful, then we can be humble.
Mm-hmm.
And when a humble heart, with a humble heart, we approach a guru, a learned person, and then perform these three activities, we can, stand to gain knowledge. What is that? He says, uh, you know, you should approach with submission, ask relevant questions, and be ready to serve.
Mm-hmm.
So, approach should be to know, to gain, to get the knowledge that the person has, or rather, I would say, not get, to receive, because I
Yeah.
can't really force knowledge from someone. It has to be transmitted. And I, with whatever container I have, my heart, I can only receive. If my container is 100 milliliter, I can receive only that much. If
Mm-hmm.
my container is 1 liter, then I can receive that much. So the more gratitude, the more humility I have, the more knowledge I can receive. Relevant questions. Tad vidhi pranipatena. Pranipat means submission. Pariprashnena. Ask relevant questions, not to show that I know, but to understand what I don't know.
Sure.
And then he says, Sevaya, and be ready to serve. Not just serve in the physical sense, but serve the instructions what you are receiving.
Hmm.
Implement, live
Implement.
the knowledge that you are receiving. Then the realization becomes fixed up in the heart of the student. And in turn, with humility, that person can transmit the knowledge to someone else. So he
Hmm.
becomes the instrument of transmission.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you. I think we have like 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
They're never long enough. I could stay here another hour. Um, yes, before we go, I just want to tell everybody if they're interested in joining our Gita Zoom meetings, maybe they can message you or myself and get the information for that. Also, you can check them out on Facebook, Hare Krishna Das, also Bhakti Yoga Rishikesh
Bhakti Yoga
page
Rishikesh.
with all the satsang. Um, and yeah, thank you so much for coming on here and shedding some light on the 9 modes of bhakti. Very, very
Thank you for giving the opportunity. Please forgive me if I spoke too much or
no,
confused you or just
no, no, it's
been so
perfect.
technical.
This is why you're on, so that you can speak and you give the knowledge.
No,
So,
I'm just repeating. I'm just an instrument.
okay,
I'm
okay.
like this. I'm like this, the mic.
Okay, Guruji,
Thank
I'll
you.
see you
No,
later
no,
in
don't call me
class.
Guruji.
And thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you very much. Hare Krishna.